Walker Buehler got tossed in the third inning of yesterday's contest between the Red Sox and the Mets. Mets are like, all right, here we go. We got Buehler out of the game. Well, they still fell in the contest. Red Sox put together a nice pitching performance. I would like to show the beefiest part of what happened here, which comes after the game and involves Walker tweeting. He's one of the few players who will put it out there on Twitter. Bueller's day off. Did you see this?
I did see a little bit of it. I didn't see all of it, but I maybe I did see the whole thing. Yeah, they were going.
The corniest part of the Buehler ejection wasn't Lindor leaning into a pitch before like a loser. Well, that's not nice. But that he talked bleep, screaming and rooting for the ejection. That part's true. Big loser energy warrants a fastball to the back tomorrow if I'm the Red Sox. Kratz, Buehler replies, I wouldn't want me out there either. Sad thing is the bullpen is full of bleeping animals. Tough choice.
Yeah, I mean, this was a whole thread. This is the whole thread. There was a lot going on. Walker had some excited fingers to get onto the Twitter game and his Instagram game. But that, to me, that's the biggest thing. We'll break down what the umpire did. But to me, what's Lindor? Why is Lindor barking at him like so excited? Lindor literally did lean in to get hit by the pitch. Now, it didn't hit his knee. I think Buehler thought it hit his knee, but it hit him in the toe. So Buehler was already hot, and then ball's down the middle. But why is Lindor trying to get him out of the game? I'm confused by his reaction on second base in that situation.
Yeah, I mean, the moment of the game, Lindor throwing some theatrics out there. He one of those things where maybe he's just into it. Throw him out, get him out. Listen, the pitcher's right down the plate. He had every right to say something. Maybe Buehler could have said it in a different way, like, "Hey, man, I had that right down the plate." He got after him a little bit, and then Estabrook, as an umpire does, wants to be shown on TV like usual. Just let him get his voice out there, talk something back, and move on. Like, I can't stand that. He went forward to make sure he was seen so he could bark back at him. Whatever happened to an argument and people going at it with each other? I can't, Scott, call me old fashioned, but what happened to the guy they used to beak each other? The beak of the brill used to tip their hat. You big, blah, blah, blah. Like,
now that's contact. That's like a suspension.
Yeah, but it's just,
oh yeah.
I don't know. Was Walker wrong? He was. Don't get me wrong, but man, let the guy get his point across. You missed the calls right down the darn plate. Like, come on, man. Jesus.
If you leave your position to argue a call, you're ejected. Why is an umpire not being held responsible for leaving his position? He doesn't need, all he did was he came out and he said, get back on the mound. Because, it's speed up the game. He said his piece, get back on the mound. He doesn't need to walk out in front of home plate, pull his mask off. Like, there needs, to me, it can't be just a one-way street. It can't just be, oh, the pitcher, should he have said what he said? Absolutely not. But he didn't say you. He said it was right down the middle. He didn't say you missed it. He didn't say you effing. He did curse, so he should have been gone. But it was escalated by Estabrook. He can't, you can't just, how you expect a player in the heat of a moment, especially a pitcher who plays once every 5 days, and those dudes get wound up tight when they're ready to pitch. How do you expect him to just be like, oh, okay, that's fine. I'll go back to the mound. No chance. That dude would get shelled if you would see that. Not a chance that's going to happen. Estabrook escalated it. To me, Buehler, yes, he got kicked out. There should be no fine, but Major League Baseball won't have the spine to stand behind the player.
You want him to not get fined for getting booted from the game?
Yes, because Estabrook is like, it was almost like some dude was like, hey, come on, hit me. What, you won't hit me? Come on. And it was like, what is Buehler supposed to do? What is Buehler supposed to do in that situation? Not say a word? I don't condone the language he used, but I do condone talking to umpires, because if you don't, It's like in basketball. If you don't ever complain about fouls, your team's never going to get calls in your favor. That ball was missed. Estabrook should understand that. He should not escalate the situation, but he did.
FT fam, let's talk about the HOF app. If you're into parlays, but sometimes you're missing the mark more than you would like to, can I introduce you to some serious analytics on an app that is easy to read and comprehend? And I'm sitting next to a man who knows how to place a parlay.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is breaking down a parlay with this Hall of Fame app. There's the situations that you'll find easier to do. It's very helpful in understanding, and if you like, gambling, sometimes this is really good to know. So get on there, get on that Hall of Fame app and check it out.
Yeah, this is info that will help you, okay? With a 4.9 rating in the App Store and over 6,000 5-star reviews, safe to say that HOF has already helped a lot of people bet smarter. For a limited time only, FT listeners can get a 7-day free trial and 50% off their first month when they use code FOUL at checkout. Download the HOF app on iOS or Android. Enter code FOUL and you're all set. You can say whatever you want, but in all levels of hoops, if you have combos, nice combos with refs, it's not going to hurt, unless you tick the ref off, right? But if they don't think you care and you don't point anything out ever, you played pretty good high school hoops, then they're just going to leave everything alone.
Yeah,
They're still human beings, right?
Sure.
So if you go to them and you're just like, hey, you're doing a great job, just want to let you know, like, this dude's, he's pinching me. Every time I go into the lane, he's just pinching me. Then he's going to look because he's a human being. And if he sees the pinch, he's going to be like, get that guy out of here. It's a weird example, but it happened.
It does. They're both in the wrong there. Put it this way.
Punishment for Estabrook if Buehler has to pay a fine?
He's not going to get a punishment. So
nothing.
We don't have to go down that
There'll
road.
be a combo. There will be a combo. I will tell you this, just from knowing some people that oversee the umps, like Joe Torre for a while, and is it Mike Hill now? They will call him, Kratz, and they will say, hey, come on. Now, after that, I don't know because they have a union too, and that depends on the bylines of what they've got going on. But really, in today's world, if you want to stop that stuff, he's got to get seated and not get paid for a series.
That's a lot. That's a lot. To me, if it's he needs to have a warning. And if it's something that continually happens, then we start sitting. Because that's his livelihood, but we can't have umpires escalating the situation. And if you watch all of Cora's mannerisms and everything through that, you saw how much this bullpen needed Buehler to go at least 5 or 6. He was running out there and he's like, oh man. He's like, how can you throw him out like now? And then he's on the bench and he ended up getting their home run celly, making their new home run celly because he freaking ripped the door off the bullpen phone. And the rest of the game, they were just holding up the bullpen phone. And every time somebody hit a homer, they'd tap the bullpen phone. Like it just says bullpen and it's the case on the outside. It was tremendous. It was great theater in Boston.
And kind of button it up, if we're talking about the umpire, they should be talked to about, why didn't he call it a strike? That would be the conversation. And maybe he got blocked, but it looked like he did have a view because it was on the right side of the catcher. But yeah, it made for good fun little game there, and afterwards too with the smack talking. So remember, they got one more game today, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, on IG, Buehler was like, bullpen full of savages, brutal way to come back and horrendous spot to put those boys in, but huge team win. I'll be better. Dub.
Yeah, he owes those guys a little gift or something.
Yeah. But also you want that kind of guy on your team.
Yeah, no doubt. But you also want him to go 5+ and get the win. And they did.
Don't forget how the Dodgers won the World Series last year. Dude wasn't even supposed to pitch, and they were like, he goes, yeah, right. Give me the ball.
Mm-hmm.
How do you not want that guy?
You want him.
Yeah. You want the guy that's on the team bus on the way to the ballpark, telling the manager I want to pitch, texting with the GM, right? He was doing all kinds of things just to try and be like, I am legitimately available. And they're kind of laughing at him. And then later in the game, they're like, all right, yeah, let's
go.
Take him up on this offer and win a World Series. So you got to love it. That's why he's Walker bleeping Buehler.
Bleeping
That's what they say. And lastly, Kratz, to go back to what you're talking about with the celebration, that should be the celebration for them for the rest of the year. I mean, I know they're doing the Wally helmet. This is it. This is it. This is like a winning celly. The other one is cute. I think this should be the one. You come back to the dugout, you pound the dugout phone and say, we're going for the jugular today, every day. Do you agree?
Yeah. Because it reminds you, every time you see bullpen, it reminds you that some dudes had to wear it that night. They had to come out and wear it. And it wasn't just, well, we'll just throw whoever out there. They wore it and Chapman closed it out. So if you're like, oh, I'm grinding on the day game, I'm looking at that bullpen door. That Cora definitely needs to sign. Alex needs to put his signature behind it because he was the one that ripped it off. And that needs to be the celly. It's something that motivates the dudes. Like, all right, well, I'm going to get up because the boys picked us up that one day. It just reminds guys of a hard-fought win against a really good Mets team who's not playing great right now, but still a good team.
Yes. Beautiful thing.
You want that, celly?
Something as
you would lead a clubhouse, though. Would you say next day,
I'll make
boys,
there's going to be shirts the next day.
Wally mascot out, shirts, and we're doing the dugout phone from here on out.
There's going to be the manager there ready to freaking punch a phone that says, what does it say on the top of the phone? Bullpen or whatever it is?
Bullpen, yeah.
Bullpen, yeah.
Just bullpen.
Him holding the bullpen ready. There'll be shirts tomorrow. I would have them done tomorrow, and people would be buying them left and right.
Yeah, because this team's been okay. Talking about the Red Sox, they're 25-25. I think most people expected more from them at this point, but you could still see them take off. It's not. They've been okay.
They got Crochet going tonight too, so they'll be just fine.
They're in a good spot. They're 4.5 back of the first place Yankees, but obviously very much involved in a conversation, whether it's for the division or for a wild card. And I think most people expect them to be contending the entire season, which for the Red Sox is actually something that hasn't been the case the last few years. So they're kind of back. They're back at least to contending, which is good.
Hey, everybody. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
We're back here every weekday, all year long, so do not miss an episode.
The videos are coming in all day. Here's another video you might enjoy.
Baseball the way it should be covered.